Stepping into a dream, Hundertwasser's colorful world. Vienna, the capital of Austria, is well known as the city of music. Every year, there are about 15,000 music events held in this city. However, it is also home to one of the greatest painting talents to come out of modern Europe. Meet Friedensreich Hundertwasser, a famous painter and architect known for his creative works. Friedensreich Hundertwasser was born in Vienna in 1928. When he was little, he went through some very hard times due to Nazi Germany and his Jewish heritage. To stay safe, he and his mother pretended to be Christians. He even joined the Hitler Youth, the youth organization of the Nazi Party, to avoid drawing attention. Hundertwasser's childhood experiences deeply affected his artistic concepts. His early works, for example, explored the difference between natural, organic living things and unnatural, strict, and geometric shapes. This showed his preference for nature over the city, where he had to constantly hide his identity. Hundertwasser later developed his own art style, adding spiral designs and bright colors to his paintings. Then, in the early 1950s, he became more focused on architecture.
Welcome everyone to English for You. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And we're so happy you could join us today because today we have a really interesting article that we're going to discuss. But before I get into that, Elsie, I've been thinking, have you ever seen an artwork that made you feel like you were stepping into a whole new or different world?
That is a great question. I mean, some artists really have a way of bringing you into their imagination through their work, right?
Right, yeah.
It's like you can feel what they were feeling when they made it.
Exactly. So like when you look at my artwork, do you feel fascinated about or feel like you're stepping into a new world?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, everyone, today we're going to be talking about a fascinating artist whose work really takes you on a journey. But we won't give away too much yet. So everyone, let's dive into this colorful world together. Our article starts off by saying, Vienna, the capital of Austria, is well known as the city of music. Capital is a noun, and it is a city where a country's government is located. So an example sentence using that word, we could say, Taipei is the capital of Taiwan.
Capital 这个名词呢，指的是首都。The capital of 后面加上国家，那就是某个国家的首都。所以刚刚例句有说，台湾的首都就是台北。What about the capital of the United States?
Washington, D.C. is the capital. Also in our last sentence, we saw the phrase be known as something. And that is to be called or recognized by a particular name or title. So an example, we would say, Vienna is known as the city of music.
Be known as something, 那就是被称作。所以我们的课文告诉我们，奥地利的首都维也纳，它以音乐之都闻名于世。
Right, and why are they known as the city of music? Well, our article tells us every year there are about 15,000 music events held in this city.
哇，每年呢，这座城市举办大约15000场的音乐活动。
Yeah, that's a lot, right? So that's probably why they're known as the city of music. Well, getting back to our article, everyone, it says, however, it is also home to one of the greatest painting talents to come out of modern Europe. And there we see the phrase, be home to something. So be home is to be a place where something or someone lives or is located. An example using this phrase, we could say, Paris is home to many famous artists and musicians. We also see the word talent, and talent is a noun. It's a person of talent or a group of persons of talent in a field or activity. So an example using this, we could say, Judy is a great talent. She plays the piano beautifully.
好，那我们来整理一下咯。首先看到的 be home to something， 那就是是点点点的所在地。那另外看到的名词 talent， 在课文里面指的是人才或是天才，它还有另外一个意思，就是天分或是天赋。可以怎么样去用它呢？我们可以说 have a talent for something， 那就是有某方面的天赋，像是呢 she has a natural talent for singing， 她有唱歌的天赋。那课文这边讲到啊，然而这里也就是维也纳，它也是现代欧洲最伟大的绘画天才之一的故乡。那这边我们看到了今天的文法重点 ，Let's take a look。在今天的 Language in Focus 当中呢，我们要讲到一个关系子句当中的一大重点。我们首先要知道，使用关系子句的时候，如果先行词当中啊含有最高级的形容词或是 the only 的时候，关代必须使用 that， 好，你不能用 which， 也不能用 who， 只能用 that 这个关代。那第二个就是呢，如果句型当中的关系代名词 that 是当主词使用的时候，你也可以将子句内的 that 加上动词改写成不定词 to，加上原形动词。所以呢，以本课当中的句子来说，我们可以把课文里面的句子变成 However it 也就是 Vienna is also home to one of the greatest painting talents to come out of modern Europe。 那另外一个例子，我们先给同学们原句哦。原句是 That's the best solution that satisfies everyone。 好，也就是说呢，那是唯一能够让每个人满意的解决方案。那改写之后可以变成 That's the best solution to satisfy everyone。
Meet Friedensreich Hundertwasser, a famous painter and architect known for his creative works. There in that sentence, everyone, we see the word painter, which is a noun, and it is just a person who makes paint or paintings. So we could say, the painter created a beautiful picture of the sunset and the mountains. There we also see painting. Painting is a picture made with paint. An example we would use would be, we saw a lot of famous paintings at the museum last week.
Painter 这个名词呢是画家，哈，是在课文里面的意思。那它当然也可以指的是漆油漆的人。那另外呢，我们看到的 painting， 好，这个名词呢是绘画创作。那还有一个意思就是画作本身了。
Right, and also we see creative, which is an adjective. It is involving the use of imagination to produce new ideas or things. We could also say someone who is creative is very good at using their imagination to make things. So an example we would use would be, Mindy loves creative writing because it allows her to express her thoughts and emotions freely. Or simply say, we could say, he's very creative. He makes wonderful sculptures from wood.
Would you say you're a creative person?
Yes, I think I'm a little bit of a creative person. What about you?
I don't think I am at all.
Really? Well, I think you are.
Thank you. Creative 这个形容词呢是创作的或是有创意的。好，那跟它相关的还有比如说动词创造是 create， 那创造力，好，一个人的创造力就是 creativity， 那你创造出来的东西是创造物 creation。 那我们这边说到的这位主角呢，他是一位著名的画家还有建筑师，以其富有创意的作品闻名。
All right, well, jumping back to our article, it says, Friedensreich Hundertwasser was born in Vienna in 1928. When he was little, he went through some very hard times due to Nazi Germany and his Jewish heritage. And there we see the phrase, go through something, which is to experience or endure something, especially something difficult or challenging. So an example sentence we could say would be, he went through a difficult time during his childhood. Jumping back to our article, it says, to stay safe, he and his mother pretended to be Christians.
好，那我们刚刚看到前一句话当中有 go through something， 好，是经历点点点，然后 heritage 这个名词呢是血统，所以他在1928年的时候出生在维也纳。当他还小的时候呢，由于纳粹德国的迫害以及他犹太人的血统，经历了一段非常非常艰难的时期。
Right, and so in that last sentence, we saw that he pretended to be something that he wasn't. So him and his family were all Jewish. They pretended to be Christians so they wouldn't be persecuted against Hitler and Nazi Germany during that time. And we find out, our article says next, he even joined the Hitler Youth, the youth organization of the Nazi Party, to avoid drawing attention.
他甚至呢还加入了希特勒的青年团，那纳粹党的青年组织，所以是为了要避免引起注意而做这件事情的。
Wow, this is like a spy novel. Some of his, youth and his childhood growing up through this really hard and traumatic experience. Jumping back to our article, everyone, it says, Hundertwasser's childhood experiences deeply affected his artistic concepts. And there we see the noun concept, which is an idea or a way of thinking about something. An example we could all say would be the concept of teamwork is important in sports.
Concept 这个名词是概念或是观念 ，the concept of something 那就是某事物的概念。那另外呢，我们看到的形容词 artistic 当然就是艺术的、艺术相关的。那课文说到呢，他的 childhood 他的童年经历深深影响了他的艺术观念。
So I wonder what his early works, Hundertwasser's earliest works look like. Well, our article says his early works, for example, explored the difference between natural, organic living things, and unnatural, strict, and geometric shapes. Oh, so he wasn't just using one type of thing. He drew examples and explored very different types of things throughout through nature and throughout just what he saw as a person. Organic is an adjective. It is related to living things or substances that come from nature. An example would be the restaurant donates its leftover food and organic waste to a local composting facility.
Organic 这个形容词是生物体的或是有机物的，所以我们课文提到的 organic living things, they include animals,
Yeah.
plants,
Yes.
what else?
Fungi.
菌类。
And things you can't even see, like bacteria.
OK， 这个也包括。那再来还有一个 geometric， 好，这个形容词有指是整齐均匀的几何图形的。那例如呢，他早期的作品就探索了自然啦、有机生命体与不自然严格几何形状之间的区别。
So we could kind of assume right now throughout our story that Friedenreich Hundertwasser had kind of a different aspect of how to make different buildings and paintings and different things, right? And our article says this showed his preference for nature over the city, where he had to constantly hide his identity.
Preference 这个名词是偏爱或是偏好。Preference for A over B， 那就是对 A 而不是 B 的偏好。那这显示了，课文说到他对大自然的偏好远胜于城市，那里呢，他必须不断的隐藏自己的身份。
Moving on, Hundertwasser later developed his own art style, adding spiral designs and bright colors to his paintings.
Spiral 这个形容词是螺旋形的，好，那它也可以当作名词来使用，那就是螺旋形状。所以他后来就发展出自己的艺术风格，在画作当中呢，加入了这个螺旋设计，还有鲜艳的色彩。
Yeah, a thing about spiral I always liked is, did you ever, or has anyone ever gone to a house and they have a spiral staircase?
旋转的楼梯。
Right? It always looked very
That
beautiful.
takes a lot of space.
It does, but it's very beautiful. So maybe he was fascinated by the designs of spirals, which I think is really unique and cool. Well, everyone, jumping back to our article, it says, then in the early 1950s, he became more focused on architecture.
Architecture 就是建筑学，那 architect 指的就是建筑师，所以呢，接着在1950年代初期，他就开始更加专注于建筑设计。
So now he's more focused on building different things.
那同学们喜欢今天的主题吗？不要忘了按赞、订阅、分享我们的 YouTube channel， 还有 Facebook。
All right, everyone, that brings us to our For You chat question of the day. It says, how do you think growing up in a challenging environment might influence someone?
Growing up in a challenging environment. It, of course, it's not easy, right?
Right, no, it's challenging.
It might influence someone by making them stronger.
Yeah.
That's a positive one. And more determined to overcome difficulties.
Yeah, that's 100%, right? I agree. And I mean, it could also help them develop empathy and understanding for others who go through tough situations. So if you've been through, a difficult childhood or a hard situation, then you can kind of feel and understand how those other people might feel as well. And you could kind of bond.
Yeah, and you can, grow stronger.
Exactly. All right, well, everyone, that's all the time we have today. We are going to continue our article next time to learn more about this awesome architect and see what he does next. For You English, I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Capital. Although Sacramento is the capital of California, U.S., it's not the state's biggest city. Talent. The singer, just 15 years old, is already viewed as a young talent in the industry. Painter. We think of Vincent van Gogh as a famous painter now, but he wasn't successful when he was alive. Creative. Peter enjoys doing creative hobbies. He likes writing stories and acting and plays the most. Michelle is a brilliant artist who often paints things in a very creative style that people love. Concept. It takes children several years to learn and understand the concept of sharing things with others. Organic. Worms break down organic matter and make the soil better for plants.
智慧小补帖
Architect. Heritage. Artistic. Geometric. Preference. Spiral.